welcome back, everybody. This is Sarcasm Speaks. It's Jared and Bob here. Um, some a little different for us. It's been a long time since we've done a Saturday night episode. It was supposed to be a Friday night episode, but I'll get into that. It's part of my opening thought. Um, Also trying to keep my voice down a little bit, right? This all ties into my opening thought. Um, so my kid's asleep, right, in his bedroom, which isn't that far from where I record this podcast. So I'm going to try not to yell today. But I can't make any promises, which could potentially pose a problem. However, yeah, this could be my Yin Yang Twins episode. What was that song? Was it called the Whisper Song? Is that
They might have
exactly
been
what
called
it
the
was called?
Whisper Song. Was
Yeah,
that the Ying Yang Twins?
I don't
I
know. It
don't
was
know.
somebody.
I don't know. I'm also like I'm drinking, I'm watching the Bruins game. Like this is a fucking circus.
I know. I got the Bruins on behind me. So if you're watching on YouTube, you're probably going to see me look back over my shoulder a bunch. It's going to sound probably weird on the audio version because I'm not speaking directly into the microphone. But this is it, right? This is Saturday night. I've got my old fashioned finally here. I know you've got yours over there.
I'm on my second.
We haven't done a booze episode
Yeah, I
in a
haven't
long
drank on a
time.
podcast in a while.
Yeah. So hopefully the wheels stay on. They might
I
get a
was gonna
little
say, I mean,
wobbly.
for me, it's too old fashioned. Like
Oh
let's
yeah,
let's
yeah. I
fucking be
mean,
real here.
yeah, but it's just
And I left the bottle upstairs.
yeah, so it's not quite some of the early days of the podcast, but you know, maybe things get a little bit loose here, but we'll see. Either way. So I mentioned it's a Saturday night for us, right? Obviously, the girls are away for Michaela's bachelorette party this weekend. Um, so I'm single dadding life this weekend. I mean, my mom came down today. She was here for a lot of the day, so that was nice because then I could actually like go food shopping, and I had to go to BJ's, and like I had to like get shit done around the house, like laundry and stuff. So it was nice to have her here to pay attention to the kid so I could actually do that. Um, but quite quite the fucking journey. Before I get into the story, I guess I'll say that I have a newfound respect for single parents, especially of young kids, like infants, right? Like, and now before people are like fucking nail me to the cross here, I'm sure being a single parent to like a teenager or like a 10 plus year old is difficult, right? Obviously, it's more difficult than not, right? Being a
Yeah,
single
it
parent.
yeah, because
However,
they're pains in the asses
yeah,
and they mouth
however,
off to you. But like,
being a single parent to an almost 8 month old um is a lot of fucking work. It's like a lot of fucking work. Um because he's not mobile, right? He's not potty trained. He's not even 8 months old yet, right? So it's like he can't crawl, he can't walk, he can't talk, he can't do anything, right? So it's like you need to be with him. Oh, and on top of all that, he's sick. So he's got a like head chest cold going on. He's been sick all week. Um,
good timing.
yeah. He got probably the worst of it. Maybe like Wednesday, Thursday this week was probably like the peak. Probably Thursday. So like brutal cough, right? To the point where it's like you get a little bit frustrated because you're like, dude, just fucking spit it out. But like, he doesn't know. He's like I said, he's not even 8 months old. So for a while, he was like hacking up a lung and then like just swallowing it, and he would gag after. So he'd be like, and then be like, and it's like, ah, oh, dude, just
Like sitting
like,
there, like, baby,
yeah,
figure it out.
like just spit it out. Like, don't try and swallow it. Um, so I've been dealing with that. Um, So on top of Amy being gone all weekend, I got a sick baby all weekend, right? So take the 8-month-old necessity and then probably double it for being sick. Um, Last night we were supposed to do a Friday night episode, right? I was gonna have some bourbon, right? And we were gonna do the thing kind of like we
Say
are
to
now.
to be fair, I drank 2 old fashions last night too.
I had one fucking hell of a time last night. So I think we typically try and get him to bed by like 8:30, right? Like we start the whole like bedtime process. All right, Bruins, yeah. Um, so Reimer, you bum.
Different bum now.
Yeah, I know. So we try and get him to bed by around like 8:30-ish, right? Sometimes it's a little earlier, sometimes it's a little later. But you start the whole process around like, you know, quarter of 8, 8 o'clock. Last night, because he was sick and he threw up in the morning. So that's the other thing too. He's been coughing so much that, and this is a baby thing, right? Like, hey, baby, figure it out. He coughs so hard and so much that he makes himself throw up. So part of the issue is that
You can
we
read minds.
yeah, yeah. So part of the issue is that we haven't been able to feed him like a full bottle. So right, like he gets basically 8 ounces, right, of formula in his bottle, and we haven't been able to give him anything more than like 5 ounces at a time, because anything more than that, he has a coughing fit and then he pukes everywhere. So last night, because of his feeding schedule and puking schedule and trying to make sure he eats something, right? Because you want to, like, I want to make sure he's not, fucking starving all the time. I had the bright idea, right? Because I fed him, I don't know, probably at like 5 o'clock ish, right? And then I was like, ooh, maybe I can try and sneak two more feedings in, and I can give him like 4 ounces at like 6:30, and then 4 ounces maybe at like 8 o'clock, and I can get him to bed by like 8:45, and we might be in business. Yeah, no, 6:30, he was not hungry because he just ate an hour and a half ago and he ate like 2 ounces. And I was like, all right, sick. So then I tried to feed him again later and he ate probably almost like the full bottle, maybe like 3 of the 4 ounces. Um, and he starts coughing and I go, uh-oh. Like it was like a deep, like phlegmy cough, just sounded gross. And I was like, oh no. But then we were good. Like there was no puke, there was nothing. And I was like, all right, sweet. He starts falling asleep in the bouncer. Right. And I was like, it's only been like 25 minutes since you ate, but you're falling asleep. So I guess I'll get you ready for bed. Because typically, again, I wouldn't expect you to know this, but I don't know if this is it with all babies, but definitely with him, if you lay him down any more than like 40-ish minutes after he ate, he's going to throw up. Like he's just going to spit up, right? Like that's just a thing. I think that's what all babies do. So we usually let him bounce in his bouncer, his little seat for like half hour, 45 minutes. And then, we'll pick him up after that and hang out and do whatever we're going to do. But typically we try and give him like 30 to 45 minutes to digest. So this was only like 25. And I was like, I don't know, whatever. You're falling asleep. I don't want you to fall asleep in the bouncer and have to move you in like a half hour, whatever. So I put him in a sleep sack and I sit on the couch with him and I'm like, all right, he's starting to fall asleep, right? His eyes are rolling. I go, all right, cool. So we're going to do this thing. Then all of a sudden he like has like one cough and then just spits up a little bit. And I was like, okay, all right, it's just a little bit of spit up. So I stand up with him and walk over to grab a towel to like wipe the spit off. And all of a sudden, it's just a fucking like The Exorcist, like projectile vomits, everything he ate all over me, all over himself, all over the floor. And it obviously is like hurting him, right? So then he starts hysterically crying. I'm covered in puke. I literally like I put him in the bouncer, right? And he starts freaking out because he wants to be held. So I rip my shirt off and throw it on the floor and like stand on it. My feet are soaked in fucking puke. There's puke everywhere. Luckily, we have hardwood floors, so the cleanup was annoying but relatively simple. Uh, so, and then I pick him up, and now he's still covered in puke in his sleep sack, and I'm like I got to get him out of this thing. So I texted Mary. Shout out to Mary, my mother-in-law who lives downstairs, and I was like, "Hey, can you give me a hand? Because he just threw up everywhere." And she came up in a few minutes and was like, "What can I do?" And I was like, "Can you just take him so I can like put a shirt on, change my sweatpants?" My sweatpants were covered in puke, like everything was covered in puke. Um, so then she's got him. I'm cleaning everything up. I just throw all my clothes and his clothes in the washer and just turn the washer on. Like that's gonna get washed. So let's just handle that.
Your
And
washer is in the basement.
no, it's upstairs. It's on the second floor. Um, so we get that, and then she changes him, right? She puts him in new clothes. I'm cleaning everything up. And then I go, all right, well, I can't put him in his sleep sack because we use a weighted sleep sack for him. I can't put him in that because it was covered in puke. So now it's in the washing machine. So we have like a different kind of sack that we just put him in for when he takes naps.
No way he's gonna
So
like
I'm
that.
like, so I'm like, hey, this is gonna have to work, buddy. Like, we're not doing this. Like, I don't know what
He
to
looks
tell you.
back at you like the fuck it is.
Yeah. So all told, that was probably like, sometime between 8:30, 9 o'clock. Once the dust settled, I finally got him to go to sleep at like probably 10, maybe 10:15. We'll call it 10-ish. um Finally falls asleep. Now I feel bad, right? Because he threw up everywhere. So I'm like, great. Like he's gonna wake up at like 2 o'clock in the morning crying hysterically because he's fucking hungry. Right. I'm just preparing myself. Like, here we go. Like, we're not gonna sleep tonight. It's gonna be like having a fucking newborn all over
You heard
again.
about
Yeah. So by the time I get to bed, it's like 11 o'clock. So I'm like, all right, well, this is gonna fucking suck. And I go to bed, and the fucking kid sleeps through the whole night. Not a peep. I woke up like four times. I was like, is he gonna wake me up? Like it's like one of those things where like subconsciously, like I knew in the back of my head that like he was probably gonna wake up and start crying. So like I don't like again, it's all
so
subconscious,
you're
but
not
like
sleeping.
while I'm asleep, like I'm not actually sleeping, like I'm
Yeah,
ready to
that's
wake up at
the
any second. It's anxiety. It's
yeah,
it's it's a
that's
100% anxiety.
all
That's
it
what it
is.
is. Yeah. So I slept like fucking shit. He slept like, ready for the pun, a baby. like like not even an issue. He wakes up this morning, no big deal. He's a little cranky, but it's because he's hungry. So I
Yeah,
feed
fucking
him.
feed me, you peasant.
He sucks down 5 ounces like in 10 minutes. Like nothing. Like, yeah, I'm hungry, but a pal. All right, gotcha. So then that was last night. Right. So then I'm like, all right, I'm not doing this bullshit. Like, I'll sneak this feeding in. I'll do this, I'll do that, whatever. So I go, I'm doing 5 ounces every 3 hours today, like we used to do when he was like, whatever, 6 months old or less than that. It was like 4 or 5 months old. Right. Like, whatever it was, that's what we did. We gave him 5 ounces every 3 hours. And I go, that's what I'm doing today. He's not going to get his full, whatever, but he's going to get 25 ounces total. And so be it. Like, that's enough. Because we took him to the doctor on Friday, and the pediatrician was like, "Yeah, he's gonna eat less." She's like, "Babies eat less." She goes, "As long as he still has a wet diaper every like 6 to 8 hours, like I'm not concerned." So we were like, "All right, great," because he's still fucking pissing all the time. He's got a wet diaper like every 2 hours. Um, so today went swell, right? Everything was good. He still got his cough. Obviously, he feels like shit, whatever. So I go to feed him earlier, right? It was probably around 7 o'clock. He gets through most of his bottle, starts to get a little fussy. So I'm like, all right, we're done. Like I put him in the bouncer. And then he does this thing where, like, if you show him the bottle and he wants it, he opens his mouth, like, hey, feed me, idiot. Um, so there was probably like 2 ounces left in the bottle. And I showed him the bottle when he was in the bouncer and he opened his mouth. And I was like, all right, let's finish. Well, after he finished, he started getting like pissy. And I was like, ah, fuck. All right, here we go. Like, you definitely don't feel good now. And then he starts having a coughing fit, like a pretty bad coughing fit. And I go, ah, fuck. All right, let me pick you up. So I take him out of the bouncer and I hold him. And he starts coughing and coughing and coughing. And then all of a sudden, puke. Like, just this was not anywhere near as bad as last night. Like, he probably just puked up the 2 ounces that I fed him, like, after the original feeding. Um, but still, like, got on my feet, got all over my whoop, right? Like, didn't get on my clothes because I had him positioned ready to for it to just go on the floor. We have like a designated puke spot on the floor basically because it's just the open spot where the hardwood is and there's no rug there. Um, so he pukes and I'm like, all right, shit. Well, now like you're covered. He starts crying. So I take his clothes off and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna give you a bath. So I put him in his little tub thing that goes inside our tub. Never given him a bath before, ever in his entire life. Like I've seen Amy do it a bunch, but like I've literally never given him a
Well, you've
bath.
watched Big Daddy before, right?
Yeah. So I give him a bath. I don't know if it was successful or not. I mean, I got him wet, I
Oh,
put
come
soap
on.
on
It's a
him, and then I
fucking
washed
bath.
him off.
Did you fucking clean him? Is he
Yeah.
cleaner than when he left?
Yeah, I would think
Then
so.
that's a bath.
Yeah,
Like,
so it worked.
yeah, I'm sure there's some fucking textbook or some uppity cunt who has a fucking great idea. Well, this is how you properly give the kid a bath. No,
Yeah.
this is what happens.
I'm sure I didn't do as good as Amy does, but
Yeah, probably
he got it.
not,
He got a
but
bath.
like again, if he ended up cleaner than when he entered the bath,
Yes.
mission accomplished.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how
Listen,
I
you're
look
not
at
like okay, baby, you're not always gonna get fucking A plus work. Like,
it. Just pretend we're camping, right?
yeah,
Sometimes you're going to go camping in your life and you're not going to be able to
listen,
take a real shower.
C's are passing too. Like,
That's true. That's true.
still get a degree. Like,
C's get degrees.
yeah, when head peasant gets back, yeah, you'll get a great bath. It'll be unbelievable. Can't wait.
So
But
I
yeah,
get him in.
you're in my world right now.
Yeah, this is what we're doing. All right. So I give him the bath, I change him, I get him ready for bed, and then he starts like, nodding off, whatever. I have his weighted sleep sack now because it's clean because I washed it from last night. So I put him in there and then I put him in his crib and I go to shut the door and he just like is awake. He was like falling asleep in my arms. And then when I put him in the crib, he was just like awake. He was like, nah, I'm just gonna fucking hang out. So I'm like, all right. That's why I sent you a Snapchat of the baby monitor. It was like when he eventually falls asleep, like I'm good to go. Um, so he did right around 8:30. And
I have laundry in full anyway.
here we are. So yeah, like I said, the whole single parent to an infant uh probably is the most difficult of all of them, right? Because like, yeah, a toddler is gonna be annoying, but like they're mobile, they can do shit. Like at worst case, you have to like pull them off the bookcase, right? Or like tell them to get off the
So,
coffee table or
yeah,
something.
so as an outsider, I can take a non-biased approach to this. It sounds like, again, from the outside, as a guy who's only dealt with dogs before, um,
Same thing.
the problem is that at this age, they need like constant attention.
Yeah.
Like you,
Especially when they're sick and they don't feel good.
Yeah, it's like you can't even throw an iPad in front of him for like 45 minutes. Now, even like Chris's daughter, when she came to the gym a couple times, like 45 minutes, that would have been fucking excellent. You might get two 20-minute intervals with fucking a 20-minute
Yeah.
interval in between, but um yeah, like that's the biggest thing. Like you it's the constant monitoring.
Yeah.
Because like in like you would think without actually having a child, you would think like the lack of mobility and the lack of fucking whatever is like a good thing, but it's not. It's not like a dog that you can just put in the crate for a
Yeah.
few hours. Like you can't just put him in one of his sitting receptacles
Right.
and be like, see you in 30.
Yeah.
Like dad's going out for cigarettes. Like it doesn't work.
Yeah, pick it, you're in charge.
It doesn't work like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then when, of course, like you're trying to do X and Amy's not here, and yeah, he goes, you know what? Let's fuck shit up today.
Yeah, yeah. How do you like being puked on? Because I'm just gonna puke on you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it for 2 straight days, maybe three.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this does make Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, there's 3 straight days that he's thrown
Now,
up.
the other thing too, though, is don't give yourself too much credit because crackheads also raise children.
This is true.
That's
This is
something
true.
I always try to remember. I always try to remind everyone.
That's what I said before he was born. And everyone was like, "Are you nervous?" And I was like, kinda, but like
Yeah,
I'm not a crackhead and crackheads raise
that's
children.
usually
So
my
like
thing. Like when what like to be an ass when someone's like, oh my god, like like hold on, crackheads also raise children.
right,
You should be able to figure it out
right, right.
as a non as a non crackhead.
As a zero time crack user.
Yeah, you should be able to figure it out.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you can't, fuck man, then like you're fucked.
Maybe you should start doing
Yeah, maybe you
crack.
should start doing crack. You haven't done enough crack yet.
Oh man. So yeah, it's been a fun 24 hours.
Me and Leo are chilling. See, what I've found for him, he's not down here, right? Is I just take him on constant walks, and
Mm,
then that way he like gets all he gets like so fucking up for the walks and like potential peasants and like maybe another dog, whatever.
yeah.
He gets so fucking up that when we come back, he like needs to fucking like go back down. So I just put him basically in a perpetual state of walk or sleep.
I mean, that's not a bad way to be, especially if you're a dog. It's
Yep.
kind of the life.
Yep. So yeah, what's today? Today's Saturday. Michaela effectively handled him Thursday. I think I took him for a short loop when I got home from work. Most likely did. So yeah, we're on 5 loops in 2.5 days. I mean, they're short, but
Yeah.
I'll take them for one more before I go play my golf tournament tomorrow.
Where you playing?
Cape Cod National.
Oh, no big deal.
It's only a top 25 in the state.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine.
Oh, and for a guy that like suffers from like severe fucking FOMO, like missing out on everything, like I don't have it that bad. uh, I'm playing another top 25 in the state on Monday. Oyster Harbors.
Oh, nice. Another tournament or just like
Yep. Tour of Greater Boston.
are they both
Yep.
for the tour? Oh, wow.
Yep. So yeah, it was to get Cape Cod National on a Sunday is pretty impressive.
Yeah,
So I was like,
I'll
yes,
say.
I'm signing up for that. And then Oyster Harbor has been the one that's fucking eluded me this far. So my history of playing the Tour Greater Boston, 2020, COVID, obviously, like everything got fucking canceled.
Right.
So I played like it was like my first year. I played like three fucking events and like a lot of the courses that I wanted to play did not have us back either at all or it took a while. So like Rhode Island Country Club was not on the schedule again until this year.
Hmm.
I've been told I would love that course. Eastward Ho was not on the course. We got it last year. I got in through the lottery. And then there was like a fucking flash mob opportunity that I got in as well. Like it was like Sunday and they go, we're playing Thursday. It's like, fuck, I'm in.
Yeah.
And it's not on the schedule this year. So like Eastward Ho is effectively out.
Right.
Um Oyster Harbors was one, canceled in 2020, didn't want us in 2021. 2022, I'm signed up. And then it was I was supposed to play the day after my father died.
Oh
So then I'm
shit.
like, all right. So I'm like, all right. Well, I'm like, and I've been told I would love Oyster Harbors too,
Hmm.
from guys that can actually make that assessment, not guys that would be like, oh my god, you would love Ipswich, and I'm like, I fucking hate Ipswich.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I never fucking play that place again, I'd be more than happy. Um, and then last year we got Oyster Harbors again. I think Craig was out. Yeah, I think Craig was out, so I had to work for him. And
Yeah.
there was no way to maneuver that. The
Right.
only way would have been to like really fuck Chris over. And he goes, listen, he goes, listen, I'll do it. I go, do
Yeah.
not do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it would have involved, I think the way the schedule would have had to go, I would have worked 6 and 9 a.m. He would have taken 12:30, 3, 4:30, and then whenever the fuck I got back from the tournament, I would have relieved him to go again.
Yeah.
It was something stupid like that.
Yeah.
I go, do not do that. So Oyster Harbors has been eluding me for a little bit. Um, and yeah, I mean Cape Cod National is accessible, but you got to stay at Wauquasit.
Right.
And Wauquasit at its peak is going to be, I don't know, probably $1,100 a night.
Sick.
Um, so we have that actually, and then this is another thing too. It's like it's getting harder and harder to play these places. So it's like super appreciative to get these opportunities, but then it's like we have signups and then the fucking course just like changes their mind at the last second. That's why Eastward Ho went to a fucking lottery last year.
Oh.
We had 80 spots or 70 spots, and then the membership just goes, yeah, 40. And it's like, well, what the fuck? Like
Yeah.
we've had signups and charges and whatever. So then it went to the lottery, whatever. And then it was like the same thing this time. Cape Cod National, we had, I don't know, 100.
Yeah.
And they go, yeah, how about 80? And it's like, fuck. And they go, all right, to make up for it, we'll give you one in the fall. And they go, just kidding. That was a double book. How about Tuesday? And it's like, bro, I can't
Cool.
play Tuesday. So
Cool.
it's like it didn't go to a lottery. It was just the top 80 that signed up. So I'm into Cape Cod National normally. I'm like, man, some of these places are just getting fucking hard.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
tough though.
that's annoying.
It is, but it's like it's almost like when the pro or the course or whatever like commits to doing something like this, it's like, guys, like you gotta fucking like give us a fucking hand here. Then like the membership decides like no, and it's like what the fuck. Because like you want to play the places, but like, and you definitely can't tell the membership to go fuck themselves. But yeah, I mean, it's just it's some places are just tough, and that's all there is.
Yeah.
There's also some places that are like that. Like so, I won't name the course. There's no need to. There is a course, fairly prestigious, Central Mass. Um, we will not go back because they treated us and especially our guy that does the schedule, like he's fucking awesome. Like he's done it a long time, no problem. Like he doesn't give anybody shit. He's super respectful of like whatever spots we get. In this place, just like fucking they fucked us and they fucking like railed him. So like our membership was more like, listen, they can like dick around with us, like that's okay. But if you're gonna treat that guy like shit, like fuck you. We're
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Like we will never go back there.
Fuck you, Worcester Country Club.
It was a Worcester.
Yeah, I know, I know.
We got Worcester this year though.
Oh, you do?
It's the Monday after my wedding, so I will not be playing.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
Oh, I could
I mean,
if
technically.
Michaela and I aren't going anywhere.
Are you
Could.
guys are you guys staying on the Cape too or no?
So
I know you're
uh
there for at least the weekend, right? Because I think we were trying
yeah.
to figure out if we were gonna do something.
Yeah, so I'm only booked to leave. I'm booked at Witchmere. I'm booked to leave on Sunday.
Okay. All right.
We were kicking around the idea of going to Naples, but we haven't worked out those details. Plus, I would need to get work covered.
Right.
And I just got May figured out, so next would be June. I haven't gotten that far yet
Yeah.
because the honeymoon's not till September, so
Right.
I need to make sure I can like get that sorted out.
Yeah. That's usually when it slows down for you guys too, anyway, right? No.
When it picks back up because we can
Uh,
split the day because the kids are out of school.
oh, right. That's right.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I need someone who can cover my morning shifts.
Yeah. Sick.
Yeah, Worcester, no issues with Worcester. And the fact that they'll have us is pretty cool.
Um, I got something that's fun to talk about, but before we do that, I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't bring up the NFL draft. So, to be fair, right? And I've said this to a few people. I texted it to us in our group chat. And I said it probably like has to do with just age. And then, Jones made a good point about like just being beaten down for the last couple of years with the shit football team. But for years and years and years, right? Again, obviously we were younger, we cared a lot more, we paid a lot closer attention, but we would stay up to watch the NFL draft, right? The Patriots would always draft like at like 11 o'clock at night, right? Because they always had a late first round pick. So you'd stay up all night, 11 o'clock would roll around, and they would trade the pick. So it's like, all right, sick. I stayed up till, 10:50 on a Thursday night to watch them trade the pick or do something fucking stupid, right? Years and years and years. Now this year, finally, they had the third overall pick. Literally couldn't care any less. Um, I didn't watch the actual draft coverage. I happened to be in the car driving home from like a networking event after work on Thursday. So what I did was I put the Pat McAfee, Bill Belichick stuff on YouTube as so it played through my car like as I was driving home. So that's what I listened to. Um, I had zero interest in anything. I didn't care. I mean, I went on the whole rant months ago about draft Marvin Harrison Jr. Don't draft Drake May, right? I said you can find the tape. Find the tape, Jimmy. Um, it's out there, right? I was like, I don't want Drake May. Don't want him. And obviously, I think you said that's what's going to happen. And that is exactly what happened. I don't care, right? If he's good, great. If he sucks, whatever. Like, at this point, I just want a decent product to watch on TV because it's been so bad the last couple of years. Um, but I did not care. I did not watch. I watched more of the second and third round of the draft this year than I did the first round. Um, I don't know why. I just had it on last night too, just as one of those like I'll just put it on TV because nothing else was on. Um, and just kind of like had it in the background as my kid was puking everywhere and I was cleaning shit up and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, like I just whatever, right? And everyone's like, "Oh, the Pats, they finally had a good draft." That's the thing that you see right now on Twitter. Oh, the Pats, Elliot Wolf, he knocked it out of the park. He finally had we got a great draft. Uh, like, how do you know? You have no
Yeah.
idea.
Well, you also saw the thing today that like Belichick is like the fourth highest
Yeah,
in draft picks still in the NFL.
yeah,
And
yeah,
like some crazy fucking proportion of them were fifth round or later.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, so don't get me wrong. Like you needed so I sat here and me and you had a fucking unproductive fucking episode where you wanted Marvin Harrison Jr. and I wanted a left tackle.
yeah.
So hey, guess what? You still don't fucking have a left tackle. So I'm
And you also
fucking
don't have Marvin Harrison Jr.
yeah. So I'm fucking annoyed. You still don't have a left tackle.
Yeah, but you drafted the right tackle.
A
So now
college right tackle
we have two right tackles on the team.
and then a right guard, which you actually probably need because City Sow is fine, but
Yeah.
bring in something.
Yeah. What's the kid? Layden something?
Doesn't
Brandon
matter.
Layden,
Doesn't
whatever. I
matter
don't know.
until he fucking. I don't know his name until he fucking dictates that I should know his name. Fuck that.
That's fair.
But here's my problem. You still don't have a left tackle. So now you got a rookie quarterback that's a fucking project without a left tackle. And I mean, you did upgrade at receiver. If the prospects pan out, you did upgrade. So
Yeah.
credit to you guys. But dude, it's like a mainstay. Without an offensive line, you are nothing.
Yep. Yep.
I just don't get it. I still just don't get it.
Yeah. And not only do you not have a left tackle, you have an old center who's not as good as he used to be. You have a above average at best left guard.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would say you have a TBD at left guard
yeah, yeah. I mean,
because
I would say it's fair that he's above average, right? Like he's
when
not
he
great,
plays, he's good. He
right?
just doesn't play all the time.
Uh, you have a revolving door at right guard, and you have a very good right tackle.
You don't have a left tackle on the roster, and this is
Correct.
the shit that continues to piss me off. So I don't know. I mean, I hope the kid from Penn State can fucking play because that's your left tackle, and I don't know. I don't know what we're doing here. So
Yeah. I love I saw someone posted on Twitter like they put a whole list of all the Patriots wide receivers and they were like, "Oh, who makes the team or who gets cut or something like that, whatever the tweet
fucking,
was." And it's
it's
like,
not even hard to figure
yeah,
out.
everyone like they all get cut.
No,
Juju,
they don't. It's very simple. No, it's very simple. So you just drafted two guys. They're on the roster.
correct.
Pop Douglas, Kendrick Bourne, KJ Osborne. You just signed
Yep.
them. That's five.
That's fun.
Uh,
That's your five wide receivers. That's it.
and then no, you're taking six because Slater is on the team anymore. And your sixth is Juju because of his contract. That's it. Done.
Yeah.
Everyone else gets cut.
Yeah.
Booty, Thornton,
Taekwon.
what-
Yeah.
whatever bums.
Who Rager. Jalen
Yeah,
Rager.
Rager cut.
Yeah. See you later.
Yep. So That's it. Easy. But I still hate that they don't have a left tackle. I mean, obviously, like anybody with the draft is like, hey, we gotta wait and see. Like, no shit. Like, I understand the fucking absurdity of that statement,
Yeah.
but not for nothing. Drake May coming into the draft, coming into the college football season, it was Williams, it was May. Like those were the two guys. You know,
Right.
Jaden Daniels went out and he won the Heisman and he played really good, whatever. So he went second. There could be something there with May. Van Pelt's your OC, he's a former quarterback. Like there could be something here. I don't know.
The interesting thing that I saw, I think it was Phil Perry, maybe. It was one of the Patriot beat guys um, that put this on Twitter that said after because they drafted Joe Milton, right, in
Right.
like the sixth round.
Yeah.
So which was actually the draft pick they got for Mac Jones. So I saw someone say that they swapped Mac Jones for Joe Milton. So it's like, hey, whatever.
Those are different players, that's for
Yeah.
damn sure.
Yeah. So, but the one thing they said with Brissett, May, and now Milton, they were like, all three of those guys have rockets and can chuck the ball down the field. So it was like, I like I said, I think it was Phil Perry that was saying, like, this could be a foreshadowing of what the offense is envisioned to be and to do. Right. And it's like,
But at the same, so and that's fine. But at the same time, the receivers don't fit that mold
yeah, that's fair.
because Polk's not that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know much about the Baker kid. Seems like a fucking dumbass, but like that's
Yeah.
fine. If you can play, you can play.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm sorry, the Baker kid is the same size as Polk. Like they're not. I don't know if they're necessarily burners. I know Polk's not.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's like one of those things. Like you might need Marcus Jones to run that fucking fly route. Like I don't know, or Marcus Jones and Pop. Like I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, it's like that's a dead giveaway to an NFL team. If Marcus Jones is out there lined up a wide receiver, it's like, hey, I think he's going to run a 9 route.
Or he runs a screen. I mean, I guess there's a little bit.
Yeah.
If you see
Yeah.
him take off full speed, he's running a fucking post. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, dude, they're not good. So
No. Nope. That's the other thing too, right? Is everyone's like, oh yeah, like I said before, Elliot Wolf, oh, they nailed the draft, whatever. One, you have no idea,
no
right?
clue.
You have no idea. No one has any idea about any of these draft picks until we get through the season. And even then you still don't know. You really don't know until like 2 or 3 years later. Um,
We also need to set the record straight on Jalen Polk. He ran a 4.52. 4.5 is not fucking slow. Just we do need
it's
I
not.
we need to clarify that.
It's NFL slow, but
Oh,
it is not
another
slow.
another big bodied slow guy. Dude,
Yeah.
4.5 is not slow.
No. Nope. Um, so I forget what I was going to say.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's not that important.
Yeah, they suck. They're still going to suck, right? Would they win 4 games last year?
Or I think.
They probably win. Their ceiling is 7 this
Yeah,
year.
I would say 6.5 probably brings a very interesting over under into play.
Yeah.
Do they have a
Yeah.
line? Are those lines out yet?
Yeah. They've been out for a while, I think.
I don't bet shit like that, so it's like out of the loop.
Yeah.
NFL team season win totals.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they've been out.
Where the fuck are the Patriots? What the fuck is this shit? Do I have to scroll the bottom? Yeah, I do. 5.5.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I'd at 5.5, I'd probably take the over.
I'd lean over and think they might trick themselves into six because
Yeah.
the defense is good.
The
That's
defense is still good. Yeah.
that's the only thing.
Yeah. They do have a great right tackle.
Well, apparently they have two now.
They have two great right tackles. Yeah. Well, they're just going to line up the right side of the line. That's it. They're just not going to. This is Bill Belichick out Bill Belichicking, right? This is we're just not going to play with the
Yeah,
left tackle.
how about that? So I mean, there was a couple bits of new regime, like everyone's saying Jalen Polk fits some of the history of who the Green Bay Packers used to take.
Yeah. I saw Devonte Adams, and it was like, all right, everyone,
Okay,
slow your fucking
I saw
roll
Jordy
there.
Nelson. I'll buy
Uh,
that.
no, maybe it was it the Baker kid then. I saw Devonte Adams. It was
No, okay, no,
one
some
of the two
people,
wide
no,
receivers
because
I saw.
Devonte Adams, I think is the similar size.
Yeah,
He was a little slow coming out, and the Packers drafted him in the second round.
right.
I think in an actual fucking realm of reality, I think Jordy Nelson was the comp.
Yeah,
But that's the thing is Elliot Wolf drafted that type of player, like whatever the profile is, like not the tallest but not short,
right,
not the fastest but not slow. Dudes that catch the fucking football. That
right.
Baker kid does not catch the football. I think he's got like 14 drops in 2 seasons or something.
Sick.
Um, so he's gonna need to fucking figure that part out because I'm sick of fucking watching games hinged on fucking wide receivers dropping balls. Um, but yeah, I don't know if this is gonna be my official declaration. It might be my official declaration. I don't think I'm going to an away game. They suck, dude. Like
Yeah,
they suck, and they did not do the correct things that they needed to do to be what I would consider a competent football team for next year.
yeah. You know what's kind of interesting to me? I might float this out there, but it's like I don't know, and it'll make sense once I say it. So I was at work the other day and I was talking to one of the guys I work with, um, and I was saying like, oh, me and my buddies, every year for a while we would pick a Patriots away game, and we would go. And I was like, we didn't get to it last year because we had, I had a kid, we had schedules were crazy, we
Yeah,
had
it was a
weddings, it
disaster.
was
It was a
their
well, it
schedule sucked.
the
Like
Patriot schedule sucked. Our
they
schedule
the team
sucked.
sucked.
Well, thank God we didn't go
Yeah.
because
Um,
we were looking at Dallas. That was gonna be crazy expensive.
yep.
Just to get fucked. They got fucking railed in
Yeah.
Dallas.
So the guy was like, you should go to watch a Vegas Golden Knights game when they play the Bruins. And I was like, dude, that sounds really cool. And I was like, I go, me and my buddies aren't Vegas people. Like we would go and gamble and we would do a little bit here and there, but like we're not into the whole like nightlife clubs at 3 a.m. Like that's not us. Like that's just not what we do. Like like maybe we'll sit at a blackjack table until like 1 o'clock in the morning, right? But like we're not like let's go to a steakhouse and spend, you know, $400 a plate at it there. Like we're not fancy, we're not nothing. We're like very like just give me a Bud Light and let me sit at a bar and yell at people, right? Like that it's just kind of like us, right? And he was like, yeah, I mean, I hear you, right? He goes, there is plenty of shit to do in Vegas that's not like the fancy high flying whatever. But he goes, when I was there, I went to a Knights game. I forget who he said they were playing. And he was like, it was absolutely fucking nuts. He was like, it was wild. Like the pregame production that they put on, he was like, it's Vegas. Like they put on a whole show. Um, and I was like, that does actually sound really cool. So I feel like, I don't know, like if the Bruins were gonna play the Knights in like December or January or something, like that would potentially be, and it would have to be on a Saturday, right? So like
So
you run into these
I've
things.
looked up this the last 2 years, right? And I
Yeah,
said the easiest trips would be Raleigh, Tampa, or Florida. And what did I run into the last 2 years?
the games aren't on Saturdays.
Midweek games,
Right,
or they played Tampa and Florida on Tuesday, Thursday, and they played fucking Carolina on Sunday.
right,
Like it was lumped into the same fucking weekend.
right.
Um, because the thing with Vegas is like it doesn't need to be what you're describing. Like you just get off the strip,
Right,
and then it's like any other fucking city that we would go to.
right,
Plus you can sneak in around to golf somewhere. Like
right.
Vegas would actually be fine, but what Vegas it so it's got to be the right day of the week. It can't be a fucking Monday,
Yeah.
and the flights and accommodations got to be correct. Like that's the biggest problem with Vegas. Like flying to Vegas in December is going to be expensive as all hell.
Yeah, no, that's
Like we're not
true.
doing that.
That's true.
So that's what I mean is like, so I don't know if I'm going to a Patriots game. I forget what the away schedule is. The schedule isn't out, but I forget what the destinations are. I feel like it was like Chicago. Um, it doesn't really matter.
Um,
It
is
doesn't
it?
really matter. I want to say they were in Chicago. What year is it? 2024?
Yeah.
No, they played in Chicago in
I was gonna say
2020.
I don't think the NFC North it is actually the NFC North. So they are at Chicago. So the away games are Arizona again, Chicago, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, San Francisco, Tennessee, and then the division ones.
They're at Tennessee, huh?
Yeah, yeah, right. It's like, are we gonna go to Nashville again for like the literally the millionth time?
Not for this Patriots team.
No,
If I
no.
thought they were going to be any good, yes, I would.
See, this is the thing that sucks. And I know that this covers our last episode. If San Francisco wasn't a quite literal shithole,
It's not in
um,
San Francisco.
no, that's true. It's in Santa Clara.
You going to fly across the country for this team?
Yeah,
I'm not.
no, no, I'm not.
I
Jacksonville.
don't know if I'm leaving the East Coast for this team.
I mean, Jacksonville kind of sucks. Jacksonville Beach is fine, but like downtown Jacksonville is not a nice area. I'm not going to Cincinnati.
No.
Fuck that. I have no desire for Cincinnati.
Let's say Michaela's got family there, so it's like if family wants to do something, like
Yeah.
fine, but that's not the trip I'm looking for.
So it's basically,
We could play Sawgrass and go to the Jacksonville game.
yeah, I guess. Um,
Imagine that. That would be a fucking, that would be, there would be a lot of numbers on fucking
oh
scorecards.
yeah. Oh yeah. Um, so it's basically then I guess Jacksonville, Chicago, Arizona, or Buffalo. Or I mean Miami is always there too, but Jacksonville, Chicago, and Arizona, and then the division.
Yeah, I don't think I'm flying to Arizona for this team. I don't think
Yeah, I
so.
mean most of it, the most of my reason there would just be to go to Arizona because
Yeah,
you could play golf
I'd
in
rather just
Phoenix.
go to Arizona and
Yeah,
not go to Glendale. I don't think it's far, but it's fucking nowheresville.
yeah. I mean, you trip and fall on a golf course in Phoenix, though.
Yeah, I mean, you just do Scottsdale, and Scottsdale's awesome.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Is like, let's just go to Scottsdale then. Fuck the game.
Yeah. All right. Before we wrap this up, I got a fun story here. So fun meaning that it's going to ruffle a lot of people's feathers, but I say this all the time as if like it matters. We're not that famous, right? Although we have blown up apparently in the last like 2 weeks. I think we got like 4 or 5 new subscribers because we got like 300 more downloads than we normally get in a month just in like the last week. Um, so Harvey Weinstein, right, was just in the news because his trial, his conviction, his whatever indictment, whatever it's called, I don't fucking know. Um, just got overturned. His ruling, I guess. So he's in jail. He's currently in jail in the state of New York. He had his ruling overturned in New York. He was also convicted in the state of California, though, too, for whatever like rape and sexual misconduct and all that stuff. So I think, before we get into the details of it, there is a potential where like it could be a situation where he needs to get moved from New York to California to serve his prison term if New York does in fact like uphold the overturning. So here's the reason why, and here's why I'm going to say, which would be controversial if we were a large enough podcast, why this is a good thing. Right now, everyone's like, oh my God, clutch your pearls, right? It's a good thing. Harvey Weinstein's ruling got overturned. Yeah, it is, actually. Um, because anyone that's been listening to the show long enough or knows me knows how I feel about the government in general. Um, I found out the details of this situation the other day, and the cliff notes on it is they had allowed so they had testimonies, right, from women that accused him of sexual misconduct or rape or whatever have you, whatever he got convicted of, right? I'm sure it was all of the above. And I'm going to make up numbers here, right? So because I'm cliff noting, I'm paraphrasing. There were 7 women, right? There were seven women that brought a set of charges to Harvey Weinstein in the state of New York. For the original trial, they allowed women who were not part of the trial to give witness testimony. I think there was 4, right? That number might be off, but I think they allowed 4 women who were not part of the trial in any way, shape, or form to provide testimony against him, saying that, yeah, he did this to me. That is not allowed legally in a court of law. You can't do that. So what a lot of people might see, right? Because I'm sure headlines, right, are going to, especially because the media slants way left, headlines are going to say, oh, this is a travesty. This is a setback for women. This is terrible. Oh my God. Oh, how could we? Oy vey. Oh, man. Poor women. We supposed to believe all women. This guy's a rapist. Yeah. Yeah. Guess what? He is a rapist. Yeah. That's not even allegedly. He's in jail for it, right? Like he's a pig. He's a piece of shit. He's an absolute fucking piece of shit. However, if you want to send someone to jail and you want to put someone on trial and you want to bring them into court, there are rules that you need to follow. If you do not follow those rules, then the lawyer, the defending lawyer, has every right and every opportunity to stand up and raise his hand and say, hey, when that trial was going on, the prosecutor didn't follow proper procedure. And guess what? They didn't, because they did something that they were not allowed to do. So now it's made its way into like higher courts in New York. And this is where a higher court threw out the charges. They were like, yeah, you can't do that. So we're going to overturn all charges that he was convicted on in the state of New York. So again, if you just read headlines and you hear people talk, oh, fucking the patriarchy. Oh, no one cares. Harvey Weinstein's going to walk free. No. You know who you should be pissed at? Is the fucking prosecutor. Because the
Yeah.
prosecutor didn't follow proper procedure. There were X number of women that were on this trial, and they included testimony from people that were not included in the trial, which you cannot do. It is against the law.
Yeah, this is
So what do you want, right? Like
fuck.
you have to follow the
Yeah.
rules.
Fuck, this sucks because this is almost like when Aaron Hernandez was gotten off, or got off on the charges because he was dead before they were like settled. And it's
Yeah,
like, fuck, that doesn't mean he didn't do it.
right. But you have to follow
Yeah,
procedure.
and that's why this sucks. Because so it like goes back to like the woman at the remember the I brought this up to Michaela not that long ago. Whatever the fucking idiot was that like killed some people. He was like a 17-year-old or some shit. And he
Kyle
ended up get
Rittenhouse.
yeah, and he ended up getting
Yeah,
off, right?
yeah,
And that's like uh the woman at the gym that was like, well, he brought the guns across state lines, so like he's guilty. And it's like, no, he's not. You can't just do that.
right.
Now, he did what he did,
He also, I think I could be butchering this. I think he did not bring guns across the state lines. I think those guns, again, we don't need to get
regardless.
into
It
like the
doesn't
rabbit
need because
hole, but
I
I
don't know
think
the
those guns were purchased in that state. He
it
just
doesn't matter
happened to
because
be,
I
yeah,
I don't know
whatever.
if they I don't know where the fuck they were purchased. I don't give a
Yeah,
flying fuck.
yeah,
But it's one of those like, well, he wasn't supposed to have those guns, so like he's guilty because he had them. It's like, no,
right.
that's not how the United States justice system works.
Correct.
But fuck, man, like what the fuck? Like especially with this one because it's like it's fucking Harvey Weinstein. Like
Yeah,
you got
he's an absolute
shit.
fucking scumbag, right? Let's
And
not,
he's gonna and you know what? He has the potential to get off in New York. I don't know if that will stand in California. I don't know how that'll work.
right.
I'm no lawyer. But the fact that there's an even open door for him to get off because of fucking incompetent lawyers just pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah,
And that's the thing, like everyone's like, oh my God, a lawyer, they're so smart. Like this goes back to our thing, like smart,
right.
whatever. No.
Yeah. Just because you're a doctor doesn't mean you're
Yeah.
smart. Just because you're a
And
lawyer
hey,
doesn't
just
mean you're
because you're a
smart.
lawyer doesn't mean you're fucking smart because clearly these people are too fucking stupid. Because not
Right.
only did they not win, the guy is going to fucking potentially get off. Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
How are you so bad at your job that Harvey Weinstein potentially
Right.
gets his charges dropped? Well, he did
Yeah.
get them dropped in New York, but
Right.
if Harvey Weinstein is a fucking free man, I don't want to hear that any fucking lawyer is fucking intelligent anymore, ever.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem too, right? Is that the anger is pointed in the wrong direction. You
Right.
should be
Because everyone's
mad.
like,
You should
oh
be
my
mad at the
God.
lawyers, but
Like,
everyone's going
how
to be
can you be
mad.
so bad at your
Everyone's going to be
job?
mad at men, right? Like it's a
Yeah.
men's, oh, the patriarchy. Oh,
Yeah.
and it's no, no. The lawyer's a fucking moron. They did not
Incompetent.
follow the rules. There are
Incompetent.
rules that are required in a court of law when you are charging someone with a crime. You did not follow
And
those rules, so therefore those charges now become invalid. So good, good, good. Have fun with that. Next time, maybe follow the fucking rules, right? If you're gonna have charges from 7 women, right? Stick to those 7 women. Don't include women that aren't part of the trial.
that's the thing is he never
Just
gets off.
just follow the fucking rules.
If they keep it to those 7 women, he rots in jail for probably the rest of his life, I
Yeah,
would imagine.
which he absolutely should.
And now because someone decided to be a fucking asshole, now this guy potentially has the chance to walk. Like you gotta be shitting me.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. Maybe California has the fucking like the one chance to do something right fucking in the last 7 years.
Yeah, probably not though.
Probably not. This will be the one thing that they're like, yeah, I don't know what you want us to do.
Yeah. uh, so that's fun.
Yeah, yeah, super fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think at at worst right now, he may just need to be transported from New York to California to be in jail, right?
Well, I
Because
mean, again,
California is not overturning anything New York did. So he
yeah,
was still found guilty in he was found guilty in both. He
yeah.
just
So
happened to be
hopefully,
serving his time in New York.
hopefully California can fucking figure this out. But you know what? Knowing California, they fucking won't. They'll
Yeah.
probably exonerate him somehow.
Yeah, yeah. Like, well, he didn't steal any money. And if he did, it was probably less than $1,000, so we can't charge him.
Fucking California. Figure it the fuck out, California.
Yeah, California
Obviously, New York
sucks.
fucking fucked that up. So
Yeah. They should have. I mean, I don't know how that goes. Like, I'm sure it has to be like maybe where the act occurred, right? But like, they should have tried him in like Kentucky or Alabama. He never would have
wasn't he?
fucking walked.
I would say, wasn't he a Hollywood guy though?
Yeah.
Yeah, this should be.
Yeah, but I'm
They
sure
did.
their office was probably in New York or something.
Jesus Christ. Figure it the fuck out, people.
Yeah.
Fucking dumbasses.
So on that note, you want to wrap this up?
We can wrap this up.
All right.
So one of the guys on YouTube I watched, Luke Kwan, he actually used to, was he born in New Zealand? I don't know. He's Asian, but like I think he's from New Zealand, which is very common there. Like there's a lot of Asian people that are from New Zealand, whatever. So he went to New Zealand last year, he went back to New Zealand this year. Uh the courses he's played both times look fucking unbelievable. So, Trent from Foreplay in Barstool, he came up with the idea for Dart, which would be a service where when you drop your rental car off, someone shoots you with a dart and you just wake up back in your apartment. So you skip over the fucking turn in, the security, the flight, all of it. You just end up back home. And I believe Dart was going to have levels. Like the more you pay, like from your departing hotel, you could get a Dart there. So travel to, you don't have to drive the rental car, whatever. So Dart was going to have many levels. The more you pay, the more you get. I think Dart needs to be implemented so I can go play golf in New Zealand. I don't know if I can do that flight, dude. Like
It's 24 hours.
that's well, I mean, either way, you got to fly the 6 to the West Coast, don't you? And then it's 15, 16 from
Yeah,
there.
whatever it is, it's 24 hours of flying.
I don't think I can do that.
No, nope. I know
Much.
for sure I can't do that.
It's too much.
Yeah.
And I don't have the 20K to take like the fucking suite or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
that like
Hawaii is my limit.
Emirates has.
If I'm gonna fly for a really long
It was
fucking
what,
time,
6 and 6? Or no, you flew to Vegas, right?
yeah, we flew to Vegas and then to Hawaii.
So what was that? 5.5 and 6? Six and a
Yeah,
half?
I think it was like 11 hours. It might be 11 or 12 there and 11 back, whichever way the jet stream goes. I think it's 11 and 12, right? It's 11 one way and it's 12 the other way. Um, yeah, that's probably my limit.
Yeah, so I'm gonna need Dart, or I'm gonna need my fucking kid at the gym to fucking invent teleportation. He's supposed to be working on it,
I mean,
but he keeps coming up with these fucking excuses I don't want to hear.
yeah. I mean, Willy Wonka figured it out, so
Someone's got to fucking figure this out
if you can
because
teleport candy bars, you can teleport people.
New Zealand looks fucking crazy, especially like from a golfing perspective. Like it looks awesome, but I don't know. I can't do that flight.
Yeah, that's
Can't
so
walk,
fucking
whatever.
long.
So fucking long, so fucking
24
far.
hours in a flight.
Well, dude, even if
Dude, that's so far away. That's quite literally on the other side of the world.
I want to
Like
say,
if
well, I
you
think by
stood where
definition
you
it is.
are, if you stood where you are right now and you dug a hole straight through, it would probably bore out on the other side in and around New Zealand.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think by definition it is, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, even if you take the 6 hours to the West Coast, it's still, I want to say a kid flew to Australia. It was 15 from LA.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude,
No, no thanks.
how the fuck do you do that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm being fucking soft, but maybe I just don't need to go that badly. But it does look cool. It does. Like he's played like 5 places and they all look fucking sick. Like Cape Kidnappers, like I know about that. It's on the fucking cliffs. Same with fucking Jack's Point.
Yeah.
Uh Tara Edie and Hey Arai. I think those are the two. It just looks fucking cool.
I think I
In my
played
luck,
Tara Edie on EA Sports.
probably.
I
Te
think that's there.
Tearai or Tyrai is the new one. In my luck, I would get there and it would be the fucking day where it's blowing like fucking 50.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
Fuck. Yeah, I mean, Dart, I think there's a future there.
I would pay for that.
I might pay for that for my fucking in less than fucking getting to New Zealand. It might take Dart just to fucking fly to South Carolina.
I might pay for that just to get to fucking work some days. Sit in traffic for 2 fucking hours to get to
Well,
Cambridge
that's
some
where my
days.
guy needs to come up with fucking teleportation too.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be working very hard on it though.
No. Well, see, this is the thing. Like, all he needs to do is just invent it. I don't necessarily need to be involved with it because I will benefit from the less traffic on the road because other people will
Oh
use
no, I'm using it.
teleportation.
Oh, I'm using it.
I'm just
That's
assuming I can't afford it.
well, I kind of know the guy that owns
I mean,
it,
if you know the
so
guy that owns it, then yeah, you have the in. Um, but I wouldn't be able to afford it most likely. But I'll take the
okay.
benefit of not having to wait in traffic while everyone else teleports.
All right, so Dart it is.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So my final thought is a funny story that is on the other side of, I guess you could say, chaos, or where we usually find ourselves in the world. Um, I recently, over the last week, have just been like feeling we have a new hire at work. That's the guy that grew up in California. That, I said that everything like in Eastern California is fucking nothing. Um, so we've been spending a lot of time like on site, unfortunately, in Cambridge, like I said. But so we're just kind of shooting the shit, and I told him just a few stories, and I go, this is a regular occurrence in my life. Like this is how things go, right? Like, for example, one day I was trying to get into work and I actually didn't hit any traffic because I got to leave a little bit later than I normally would. And there was a Coca-Cola 18 wheeler that blocked all 3 lanes of traffic on I don't know, might be Cambridge Street or something. It's the road after you take the left in front of the Museum of Science, right? Like if you're going to Lechmere, like Lechmere is on your right, Museum of Science is on your left. There's a set of lights there. You take the left or whatever that road is. Um, 18 wheeler Coca-Cola truck trying to back into the loading dock of one of the buildings there. Literally did like a 27-point turn failed like 5 times trying to back into the loading dock. Just awful. Like I said, blocking 3 lanes of traffic. It was absolutely miserable. So I was explaining to that guy that like that's a normal occurrence in my life. And I go, somehow me and my friends, we just have black clouds that follow us around everywhere because like dumb shit like that happens to us all the time. And it's like not, it's like to me, it's not surprising. It's not a big deal. It's just funny at this point. So, however, this morning I had an opposite occurrence. So, like I said, my mom came down so I could go food shopping, right? So I go to Market Basket in the whirlwind of like trying to take Pickett out this morning and feeding the baby and getting him changed and getting everything done. I didn't have coffee, right? Like I didn't have time to make coffee. So my mom comes down, I go to Market Basket and I'm like, oh, I'll just get a coffee. So I go to Market Basket and on my way back, uh, I drive by Providence Bagel, which is on Route 1 in Attleboro. So I pull in to the parking lot and the 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 line for the drive-through is like wrapped around the building. And I'm like, that's fucking stupid. So I just pull into a parking spot and walk in. There's literally no one inside. So I go in and there's chaos inside. It's like there's like 3 employees in there and they're all yelling at each other, like being like, well, like I'm just kind of like, what did I just walk into? Right? Like they're like, what the fuck? What's this? What's that? Like whatever, like who knows? And I go, holy shit. Come to find out, right? I'm piecing this together just from standing there waiting to be fucking served. Apparently, someone in the drive-through ordered a breakfast sandwich, right? But they wanted that breakfast sandwich to be open face. So they sent it back. So I'm listening to them and they're like, ah, so she said open face. This is what, because there was a kid, like a 17-year-old kid that was making the sandwich, and the manager came over and had to explain to him what open faced means. So he was like, okay, whatever. So they like pull the breakfast sandwich apart. They do it. They have small pizza. I don't know why they have small pizza boxes there, but they put it in a small pizza box and gave it back to this woman in the drive-through, who then proceeded to give it back again because she said she wanted tomato on the side. Now, I have no idea. Again, I don't have all the information. I'm only getting little bits and pieces just from standing there. I have no idea what kind of breakfast sandwich this woman wanted from Providence Bagel in South Attleboro, Massachusetts at fucking 9 o'clock in the morning. But she wanted an open faced sandwich, breakfast sandwich with tomato on the side. So she gave it back a second time, and this poor kid is getting yelled at by the manager. And then this other girl is like, do you want me to just put the tomatoes in like a plastic baggie? Like they're all freaking, it's absolute fucking chaos in there. But I'm the only person standing inside. But the drive-through line is wrapped around the building. So I'm standing there waiting to get served on. And the woman who I'm presuming is the manager, right? She comes up, she walks over to the register and she goes, "What can I get you?" And I'm like, "Can I just do a small nitro black?" And she's like, there's like a pause for like 3 seconds. It's like a very uncomfortable 3 second pause. And she goes, "Is that it?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Okay." She turns around, she grabs a cup, she fills it with ice, she puts it under like the tap and fills it with the nitro cold brew. She hands it to me and she goes, "You're all set." And I like have my credit card in my hand and I'm like, "Are you sure?" Like what? She goes, "You're all set. Just have a good day." And I was like, "Thanks." So it's like I'm not gonna ask any more questions. So I just got the fuck out of there. So again, it's one of those situations where normally like we would be screwed in that situation somehow, but for the luck of today, I got a free coffee. I got a free nitro cold brew this morning from Providence Bagel because some dumb bitch wanted an open faced breakfast sandwich with tomato on the side and caused absolute fucking ruckus inside this Providence Bagel. Yeah. Yeah. So, right time, right place, I guess, for me. But like, what kind of fucking idiot goes to a Providence Bagel in the drive-through of a regular bagel coffee shop in the drive-through and asks for an open-faced breakfast sandwich with tomato on the side? Because they have all kinds of like funky sandwiches there. Like whatever it was probably like a tomato sunrise, right? It was probably like egg, cheese, tomato, hash browns on a on a fucking bagel, right? But she wanted it open faced and she wanted the tomato on the side. That caused a line quite literally
Yeah, I was
wrapped
saying that.
around the building.
Had to do it in the drive-through too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'm good with drive-throughs as well. I've done that before. I've said that. I think drive-throughs have jumped the shark.
Yeah. I have a very strict policy where it's a two-person limit, right? Because like again, sometimes like when my mom comes down, like she'll stay, and then maybe the next morning, like we want to go to Coffee Connection and grab coffee and food. I go inside because I'm not gonna be the guy that orders three coffees and three food items in the drive-through. I have a very strict two-person limit, like two coffees, two items of food, and that's it. Like if it's anything more than that, I'm going inside, right? Because I'm not gonna hold up the drive-through line because I don't want to be a fucking dick because I hate when other people are dicks, right? Like I'm not gonna go through a drive-through and order four coffees and six fucking donuts and a couple breakfast sandwiches. No, I'm just gonna go inside. It's way fucking easier for all parties involved if I just go inside. So, moral of the story, I guess, is don't be a dick. But that's most things in life, I guess.
That's tough. It's tough
Yeah.
for people.
All right. Well, we made it. That's gonna do it for us. We kept it on the rails. It was only, I mean, I only had one old fashioned and you only had two, so it's not quite
No,
like
not when we're
you
fucking
know
shit faced.
episode 65 or whatever one that the ones we were doing real early on. Um, so thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to click subscribe up above, hit the thumbs up down below. Subscribe if you're an audio only listener as well. If you happen to be using Spotify or iTunes, you can leave us a review and 5 stars. That would be great. Tell everybody you know about the show. Keep telling people because we got again more subscribers in the last 2 weeks. I think it was California, Pennsylvania, and Utah. I think were like random because we'll get like, oh, you got 75 downloads in Utah, but then you look and it's like one download for 75 different episodes. And it's like, oh, someone just subscribed and it automatically downloaded the last 75. But still, shout out to you guys. Keep spreading the word. And you can get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. Twitter is sarcasm underscore speaks. The Facebook is sarcasm speaks. Our website is sarcasmspeaks.com. You go to the merch store, buy some merch, and check out the sponsors in the show notes below and support those guys. You get all kinds of links and discount codes and everything you need down there. So do that. And that's going to do it for us. So until next time, good night, everybody.